For today's episode, we're going to be covering 2 iconic Christmas sauces and making them extra delicious. We're going to do some little riffs on some classics, following the same kind of technique, the same processes that you use to make the classics, but making them extra delicious with a few little tweaks. Ho, ho, ho. We're going to make a cranberry and Scotch bonnet jam. It's kind of like somewhere between a chili jam and a cranberry sauce. I make it every single year. I absolutely love it. And it's good with cheese, it's good with turkey, it's good in just about anything. It's sweet, it's sour, it's spicy. It has an amazing kind of like fruity, this Scotch bonnet is huge. It's like really, it's pretty heavy. It has this kind of amazing like fruity, addictive heat of Scotch bonnet. I love it. Just some ginger in it, some red wine vinegar, of course, lots of lovely cranberries. After that, we're gonna make a really like turbo delicious bread sauce. I said that weird. Brown butter bread sauce. So for those who don't know, bread sauce is a kind of really traditional, old school British sauce made with cream and milk and bread and nutmeg and clove and all these kind of like medieval spices. And you usually eat it with birds, poultry or game. So we have it with turkey at Christmas. And ordinarily it can be quite boring, but we're gonna, like there's kind of like a classic Delia Smith bread sauce recipe that everybody makes. And God love you, Delia. I think we can do a bit better this time. No, I just think it's, there's like opportunities to inject real flavor into a bread sauce that sometimes isn't capitalized on. So we're gonna do that today. Jesus, I just insulted the Queen. This is literally blend it, cook it, done. It's so easy. We want a Scotch bonnet. These are really special chilies. These are really amazing, fruity, aromatic chili. Take the sides off it, and I'm not gonna add the seeds because otherwise I don't want, you don't want your nan having a heart attack at dinner, all right? You just wanna put this in because, it's hard to tell how spicy it's gonna be until it's been made. And then, this is half a kilo of cranberries and all this ingredients. I think it's a bit of a dice roll. Unless everyone in your family loves turbo hot Christmas dinner, I'd cut that out. So we're gonna do the same again with a red chili. This has a very different kind of, it brings a kind of different dimension as a chili. It's a little more savory and kind of like raw, spicy heat. This one's much fruitier. We need a bit of ginger. Just gonna peel it down. People always say peel it with a spoon, but I find that a peeler works just fine. So you just wanna, we're gonna blend everything or chop in here, so just help it on its way. You want a little texture through it, yeah. I mean, you'll see when I chop this all together, you'll see I'm putting these ingredients in first, so they're closest to the blade. So the blade's gonna spin, and they're gonna get chopped first. I'm gonna tip all the cranberries on the top, and they'll get chopped technically last, okay? Because I want these to be finer than that, but all roughly the same size. If you add the things you want to be chopped most in first, you're on, that's smart. This is half a kilo of fresh cranberries. You can also use frozen. And then I'm just gonna pulse it together. You see the texture of this? Kind of like a puree. It's still got a bit of texture through it. I want it relatively smooth. I don't want whole cranberries in it. And you can see that there's little flecks of ginger and chili all the way through. And I can just, having the food processor here close to my face, I can really smell the Scotch bonnet. Every time I make this, this for now really reminds me of Christmas because I've made it so many times. And it's gonna go straight into this pan. The whole lot. Because we're basically making jam, we need to add some sugar. This isn't a sweet jam, this is a savory jam. So we're gonna add sugar, you always need sugar in jams, but we also are gonna add some vinegar, which is gonna balance everything out. Add a little savory twang. So we need 220 grams of caster sugar, which is quite a lot, more than I've got in that jar. Now I need some vinegar for balance. So it's about half the weight of the sugar in vinegar. I've put an annoying cap on that. I like to use apple cider vinegar over a white wine vinegar here. I think it has. Apple cider vinegar's just got a bit more kind of natural sweetness and complexity, especially a nice raw one like this. We love this one. If you were being really, really, really good and making jam the right way, you'd mix this all together and let it sit and steep and allow the sugar to draw the natural juices and other sugars and bits and bobs from the fruit. But we are cooking for Christmas and we're in a rush. So you can do this and let it macerate overnight, but you can also do what I'm doing and just stir it together and set it on fire and it's fine. So you'll see, I mean, almost instantly the color of these change when you add the vinegar and the sugar. It's basically gonna become very, very wet, boil, reduce, and then kind of get like glassy and sticky. And that's it. And it's gonna take about 25 minutes. Okay, let's go. So bread sauce starts with an infused milk. So in order to inject some flavor, we have some pretty kind of old school medieval vibes going on here. We've got some nutmeg, we've cloves, we've bay, we've got some onions, and I like to add a little garlic clove, which is not traditional. Crucially, we're going to caramelize these aromatics in brown butter. We need about 100 grams of butter, which is about that much. You'll often see in bread sauce, people just pop in a whole onion, like that. And then they stud it with the cloves, which is a very old school technique where you just pop that in there and then you put them all around and then you drop the whole thing into your bread sauce. And then you can lift and it infuses and it looks like this weird kind of brain floating around. We're not gonna do that because we want max flavor from our infusion. And in order to achieve that, we're gonna chop it up. So I'm just gonna roughly chop these. Just gonna smash that like that. And that's it, prep done. So this is gonna go on the heat. Nice saucepan, we've got our cranberry sauce bubbling away in the back. I mean, this is just transforming before our very eyes. So beautiful. Butter in. Now we wanna take our time now and just melt it. Butter goes through a few stages when you cook it. It kind of melts, it foams, it starts to sizzle, and it starts to caramelize. And we want to lean into that caramelization, but we don't want it burnt. So I like to do this, especially when you're doing, this is like 100 grams of butter, probably a medium-low heat. Take your time. It's gonna start to brown now. So it's all melted. You can see on the bottom of the pan, there's some little solids catching there, and that's the milk solids. I like to just keep it moving and clean those. Not only will you see it change, but it'll also smell very different. So it starts to smell like digestive biscuits or kind of like hazelnutty and really good. So now we're gonna drop in our onions and garlic. So when you add something cold like that, it's just gonna hit pause, pump the brakes on the butter. Cloves and black pepper, because the heat's just gonna wake everything up. Bay leaves, just give them always scrunch, open up those essential oils, and then that goes back onto the heat. Just gonna toast everything. Just wake it up before we add lots of cold milk, basically. Once that's had 4 or 5 minutes just to wake everything up, you need to add milk, whole milk. Nice, stick that back on the heat. We wanna bring that to a simmer. We're gonna pop a lid on and you're gonna walk away for 30 minutes to infuse. So, cranberries, these have been cooking for, say, 15, 20 minutes. And you can see now, what I was talking about, kind of like glassy, almost, they look kind of candied. Everything's gone slightly translucent. The sugar and the vinegar are doing their thing. Smells unbelievable. So what you've made is a kind of like hybrid between cranberry sauce and chili jam. Delicious. So you can store this in a nice sterilized jar. That's it. Cranberry chili jam. It's so delicious. It's so delicious. I'll show you the texture when it's set as well. It's super good. But yeah, give it as a gift. Stick it on your Christmas table. cheese board, unreal. Nice piece of camembert or brie or, what's that other really nice one? Epoisse. Bit of that on the side. Port Salut, yum. Done. We're back. Our bread sauce our bread sauce milk has had half an hour to infuse. Smells fantastic. We need to fish out all of the aromats, so the onion, the garlic, the bay, the spices, all of that stuff, leaving behind just the brown butter and the milk. So you can use a sieve for this, and you just dunk your sieve in, and you just fish everything out. For this recipe, you do need fresh breadcrumbs. I've actually never tried to make it with like panko, but I can't imagine it going very well. So, or this time of year, all supermarkets, and do you know what? I think it's a pretty evergreen product, but they'll sell you a bag of fresh white breadcrumbs, just like this. No crusts, blended quite smooth, quite small, quite smooth. Smooth? No. Blended quite fine. You can also just make this yourself if you buy some white bread, take the crusts off and blitz it in a food processor, job done. What you want to do is warm up your infused milk. You'll be surprised as well, like you don't need as much bread as you think. So it's a bit of an eyeball game. I will put the recipe for these down in the caption. It's a little bit of an eyeball game. So I like to add a bit, cook it, stir it, see how it lands, and then if I need to add more, if it becomes too thick, you just add a little bit of milk. Don't sweat it. A little loose, but we're just gonna give it 5 minutes, see what happens. Go steady. Add it a little bit at a time, because once you put it in, you can't get it back. And we need to add the final kind of other seasoning that I really, really love about this recipe is nutmeg. Nutmeg is the most amazing spice. And you want to grate this in. I reckon for this much bread sauce, I'm going to use 1/4 of this nutmeg. Okay? Or maybe more. Yeah, 1/3. Nice. And then nice fine sea salt. That's the kind of texture you want. It's not running off, it's just moving on the spoon, yeah? Really nice. Turn the heat off. It's so nice. It has the most amazing kind of like rich, earthy, fragrant base to it, bread sauce. If you make this one, I really like it. It's pretty garlic forward, and I think if that's what you're after, then keep the garlic in. If you don't want it to be garlicky, leave the garlic out and you've got something a little bit more classic. But I think the caramelization of the butter, waking up the bay, the cloves, the black pepper, it all goes a really, really long way, and it transforms to something that can be classically kind of like pappy and bland and you're not really sure why it's there, in something that works really, really hard and elevates that Christmas plate. Yum. So there you go, 2 really amazing Christmas sauces, Christmas condiments, cranberry chili jam, brown butter bread sauce. Don't sleep on the bread sauce. It's really, really good. If you haven't had it, give it a go. I love them. I make this every year and I absolutely love it. I like to make jars to give to my pals. Super easy, really delicious. Go and make them. Recipes are down below, all right? See you later. Merry Christmas.